So I just watched the season finale of The Lord of the Rings of Power, season 2. And I'll say before we get into the spoilers, I wish they didn't save all the good stuff for the last like 2 episodes. And that was my biggest issue with this season. And I feel like House of the Dragon kind of shared that same boat a little bit, maybe even worse. But I had fun with the last 2 episodes. They weren't again my favorites, but they were certainly the most action packed of this season, and they gave me a lot. I just know that there's so much more story to tell that they're teasing at that I'm just impatient, and I know they want to do like 3 more seasons, so we'll see how far they get. But I I know it's gonna be like the slow burn. It's kind of what I've been getting from this show. Um, Still some very fun moments, but not as fun as they could be, maybe for me personally. But let's dive right into it. So if you guys have not watched season 2, episode 8 is the finale of season 2, Rings of Power. Stop watching. All right, so the opening, I finally got my Balrog, and it was pretty epic, and I getting to see the whip was amazing. Um, and that moment with Durin, I've been calling him Durin Senior and Durin Junior, but that one moment with Durin Junior, I mean Senior, was very beautiful, and was a nice way to go out, I thought. Um, Although I of course just wished we got more Balrog. Um, Seeing the Balrog's design made me wonder though, like they've kind of been using a lot of Peter Jackson's designs, although maybe somebody can correct me and point out if Peter Jackson was just using like designs that were already drawn by Tolkien and his team or something like that, or if this TV show is maybe not doing as much on their own and kind of copying designs that What a Workshop did. I'm curious. Like the Balrog looked exactly like the Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson one, and later on we see the sword, Narsil, that I also was like, that looks exactly like the. There's been other things too, but curious, and how they don't involve Peter Jackson, and yet they still are doing a lot of his stuff is interesting to me. I'm not complaining, but I'm curious. I know that the Peter Jackson team doesn't seem to really love the TV show Lord of the Rings team, but um, I was intrigued to see more of the wizard story and the dark wizard and him trying to help our wizard. Um, I forget what they're calling him right now, but I am intrigued. I know we got a lot of different storylines in this last episode. I feel like we got a little bit of everybody, but still action packed with the attack on Eregion. Um, Pretty cool. I know that was probably a lot to do, and there was definitely some great moments in that battle, and getting to see them all the orcs with the makeup is always amazing to see. Um, the death of what's his name, Celebrimbor, was pretty brutal. So many arrows. I liked I liked how bloody it got in this episode. Started to feel a little bit more like Game of Thrones or something. Um, but I do like that Celebrimbor was able to get a little bit in Sauron's head before he passed away, by saying, like the rings are controlling you, you're not controlling them, basically. But yeah, brutal death from Sauron. who then ends up kind of befriending the orcs, um, who are kind of losing their patience with Adar. Um, the Isildur storyline, I'm not super interested in, but I feel like that's one of the slow burner storylines that I don't care too much for. Um, but the Adar switcheroo, or he got trickarooed into helping his little orc friend, and then got himself killed right after he got his little moment, showing his real original face, which was cool. We get a little tussle with Galadriel and Sauron, which is cool. We saw that in the trailer. Yeah, I don't know what else. They fight for a while. It's pretty cool. Not, again, my favorite fight. And then she sacrifices herself and jumps off, trying to protect the ring that he wants so dearly. I think he does get the 9 from her, though, but she doesn't end up giving away her ring. Yeah, it just seems like they're all getting ready for the next big journey, which is gonna be like a year away. Yay. But the big reveal at the end, was something I did not expect. And I actually kind of like it the more I think about it. Grand Elf being Gandalf makes so much sense. And, well, I don't know how they go from Grand to Gand, but I like it still. And if anything, this show makes me want to go back and check out more Tolkien stuff and read more of his books. But I'll still be watching it, even though I have my complaints. It's not the best show out there, but it still somehow scratches an itch that I have for Lord of the Rings. But let me know what you guys thought of the season finale of season 2 for the Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. I would love to hear what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.